it was already on the ground. It was already a rumor there in my parish at the time that there was problems brewing and there would be leadership challenge, because they knew that Peter Phillips wouldn't win, especially after Damian Crawford was not successful. So I was aware of the rumors about Bunting wanting to be leader. But the thing is that nobody expected Rhoda Crawford to beat him and that he would be out of the parliament. So it was something that we did hear at Portland long time, and like they were poaching support, you know, for Rise, which you more than likely supposed to know what was happening at that time, right? So it was no shock. So from then on, I for one, and I know several other bloggers, persons who I am close to, were trying. If Petal was here, Petal would be one of those persons who could be a evidence or a witness that we were trying and searching for a lot of information regarding who Mark Golding is and his history, and we couldn't find it. We couldn't find it. So people are saying that him scrub the internet. I don't think it's now that scrubbing gone. I think that scrubbing gone long time.
That is very true. I believe I would want to support that viewpoint as well, because I don't think it is so coincidental that even if you visit the social media handles for his children, that, you know, it is very difficult to find out, you know, details about, you know, this family. For example, with Mark Golding, the only thing I knew, he attended Campion. I don't know what prep school or primary school or pre-primary school he attended. I don't know of anybody coming out to say, boy, you know, me and Mark are the classmates and so on and so. All of that is a secret. And
but with that being said, until this very day from that statement was made, we can't find no Campion classmate to come say and play cricket or football with him or go mango bush with him or marble with him or nothing at all.
Rusty, them not say him and Chris Deering Peter Bunting go school together.
Peter Bunting and never go on Campion, brother.
No, that then say. So that's why them are, for them small, them are farm the FinSat group.
Listen, man, them tell this whole heap of lie, man. And
no words in nobody's mouth, because we never hear nothing.
At that, the PNP then say,
look here, man, Mark Golding and say, man, Patterson go to school and Patterson.
You, Richard, said that the other day on a platform, said Mark Golding go to school with Chris Deering and Peter Bunting.
He go to school in Patterson too.
Okay, all right. So let's just say this, yeah? We not, other people cannot say, well, if something about you. Mark Golding himself, who the halls at a platform all the time and saying ban up a UC, why has he not seen it fit to me see what my people said, I set the record down to PJ come out set a trisect record, but Mark Golding himself now speak. So why should we listen to what other people have said? There is so much, according to him, lies and misinformation about him, but why not clear it up? Come with the proof.
There is no other person that is perfect enough to come and clear up the misconceptions or the perception thereof than Mark Golding, right? I remember when there were questions around his nationality, right? Whether he was a Jamaican or he had dual nationality. When he and his family went overseas, he and his wife went overseas, I believe for a tour. When they got to the airport, someone was recording them and he tapped the Jamaican passport on the screen, and so did his wife. And they uploaded that and to give the impression that he only held a Jamaican passport. It was when others started to pressure and continued to demand answers is when he came out and said, oh, I have a British passport which expires X, Y, and Z time, and I've never used it since 2007, so on and so forth. So, having come out now and say that explicitly, it means that you misled us with the video in the past. Now, let us move on. People are now asking for the renunciation document. You left Parliament, you did not show that document to the members here, but you went on partner draft, and then you showed aspects of the document. Up to now, we have not seen the full document. And when you examine the document, you would also see enclosed copy of birth certificate. It begs the question, did you have or do you have a British birth certificate or a Jamaican one? It is for you to come and clear that up, and there is no better person than you to clear up the misconception or any ambiguity out there.
Okay, so Lawrence, let me ask you some other questions. Yes, and I mean you can angle yourself. So if the questions are not something you want to answer, but okay, I would assume that based on the position that you held previously, you would have had a good relationship or somewhat kind of relationship with Mark Golding and even Dayton Campbell. What was it like with them? What was it a friendship? Was it professional? Was it cordial? Because I have to say this to you. When Mark Golding went on the stage in Central Kingston and referred to basically saying that you're not a real man, that stand out and it stood out to a lot of persons, and whichever way must have hurt you, because you know you're a young I am a laborite, you know, born and bred, and I cursed you and I also defended you because I put myself in your shoe, and I was saying to myself, imagine all my life I serve in my party and now they would do me like this. So I just want to hear from your standpoint as a human, as the human aspect, not necessarily political aspect, but I am sure Mark Golding could be your father. You would have looked up to him, you would have looked up to Dayton and all of these guys who Scuffrey and the whole of them, right? I remember one of the voice notes that I heard, like basically you thought that when all of them like was coming down on you, that Mark Golding would have stood up for you to say no, we're sticking with Lawrence, and you didn't seem to get that support from him. And I would listen to Craig Watts and I would listen to others who felt like him threw them under the bus. So now that we have you here, could you just please like explain from how did you really feel and what was the relationship like before the fallout?
So the people who I associate myself with very closely are Ian Hales, Dayton Campbell, Peter Bunting, and to a lesser extent Mark Golding. And why I say a lesser extent to Mark Golding is because he is not politically savvy. So he would not, you know.
What? That's
so
a very profound statement.
most of the strategy would be discussed elsewhere and then be presented to him. And so, by and large, most of my interaction would have been with the other three. Now, how do I feel? One day I receive a text message on my phone, report to work. No, before I report to work, I receive a message from the General Secretary about engaging my services as, you know, communications and data person for the party, right? And I accepted the dual role, though I would have only received one pay, for example. So it will be one remuneration even though I'm carrying out two functions. I am here to serve my party, so the money never mattered me. I just wanted to assist in the PNP form in government. A month later, the treasurer of the party wanted to engage me to carry out some accounting work for the PNP, and I said no. So now I would carry out three functions basically for, I am assuming to be one pay, because I don't see an entity paying you multiple salary for one institution. I don't see that. Then about a week later, I received a message from the CEO of Rerum Trading Limited. He's now the candidate for Central St. Mary. about engaging my services to do accounting work there. And again, I said no. And then I received a message now from Bunton and I said, you got 2 job offerings and you said no to both. Why? And at that time, I then realized that he was in the background trying to place me where, you know, my experience.
Please, may I ask if you come a little closer to your microphone, please? I hardly hear you.
I received a message now from him that I need to go there and protect his and the leader's investment. So I turned up to work at Rerum Trading Limited and I have worked to protect their investment, and that entity was a loss-making entity and they recouped all their investments. So I did not take away from them, I gave them back what was due to them, right? So my function now in the party as the data person, I had to do targets for constituencies, divisions and polling divisions, and gave them a picture of which constituencies to target if there's a general election, which divisions to target if there's a local government elections, down to the very polling division where the resources are to be concentrated. So you receive that roadmap, you entered upon the reference, and then the outcome of the local government elections, you did remarkably well. Not enough to land you in government had it been a general election, because it would have been 32-31 in favor of the JLP. That is what the general election seat count would have been had there been a general election on the 26th of February last year, right? So it means now you have to improve on some things going forward.